Alright guys, welcome to the video. Today's video, I'm going to be reviewing and kind of giving my insights on this video called The Most Underrated Productivity Hack and How I Used It. Now, I don't know anything about this channel. This is by Soul Simple. I just stumbled upon this on my feed, and the thing that made me click on this and what made me want to kind of talk more about it with you guys is the thumbnail. And on the thumbnail, he has I think it's the Google Calendar app. I'll put a little picture somewhere around here so that way you can see it. But if he's going to be talking about the calendar app, then I already feel like this is a 10 out of 10 video, because if you've watched any of my other content, to me, the most fundamental tool you could possibly use if you want to become successful, if you want to 10x your life, is a calendar. And I always say that, and I'm so baffled that no one likes to use it. No one likes to use a calendar. No one likes to schedule their day. And it's almost like shooting themselves in the foot. Like, if you do that one thing alone, I guarantee you'll have so much more success than you've already had. But I want to see what this guy's talking about in this video. So let's get to it.
Have you ever had those days where you feel like you've literally done nothing? Days where time passes so fast it feels like you just woke up. My breakfast turned into lunches and my dinners turned into breakfast. Before I knew it, I lost an unhealthy amount of weight and was always tired and too lazy to do anything. As someone who has lived—
All right, I want to pause this real quick because him saying that brought me back to college. Quick story. Back when I was in college, before I got into learning about productivity, before I began to use a calendar, before I began to plan my day, I felt like that completely, like super lost all the time. I'd wake up every day and I'm like, what am I even doing with my life? Like, my day was essentially dictated by my classes. So really it's like, oh, if I had a class at 10 a.m., then I'd go to class, I'd come back, maybe do homework, probably not, sit around, watch TV, talk to friends, play video games. And that was literally my routine. Like, it was just dictated for me. And it was it just made me super unhappy. Like, I'll say this. One of the biggest benefits to using a calendar or a planner, and I think that's where he's going with this, but we don't know yet, feeling like you have a sense of control. Well, I'll put it this way. When you start using a planner or a calendar, you feel like you have a sense of control over your life. And I feel like deep down, a lot of what makes people unhappy is feeling like they don't have control over their lives. Like, if you go to a job, a lot of times people think, oh, I hate my job. I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think you hate your job. I think you hate the lack of control you feel when you go to your job. Like, if you were doing the exact same thing, but you felt like you were doing it for yourself, you wouldn't feel as unhappy. This is just my theory, which means that it's not the action that's bothering you. It's how you're interpreting the action. It's you doing something for someone else, like your boss or your manager or company owner, whoever, versus you doing something for yourself that really upsets you. So I say all this because I felt lost, not because of my daily routine, but because I wasn't working toward anything. And it really felt like deep down, when I really self-analyzed, all of my emotions, really what it came down to is I don't feel like I'm in control of my life, and that's why I'm unhappy. So getting a calendar, just to me, it automatically puts you in control of your life. It puts you in the driver's seat of your life. And that's a beautiful thing, and I think most people should take advantage of it, which is why I promote the calendar so freaking much.
like this for almost 2 years, I discovered the most underrated productivity hack that has been used in multi-billion-dollar companies, prestigious universities, and by countless successful entrepreneurs. When I was in high school, I was given a timetable. It had everything planned to the minute, from homerooms, subject classes, when I can wipe my ass, assemblies, and lunch. Never once I had questioned what I was supposed to do next. After I graduated, I went to college that had the same concept, a schedule outlining when classes started and when they'll f me. And again when I was working at Coca-Cola and Tesla. Although they used Outlook Calendar to schedule meetings, briefs, and events, the concept was still the same. So what is this underrated productivity hack? If you haven't guessed already, it's time boxing. In 2018, Harvard conducted a study of the 100 most effective productivity methods, and time boxing ranked first in the most effective. It's crazy to me, even though I involuntarily use this in school and work, I never thought of adapting it into my everyday life. Not until—
Yeah, and that's something that's funny to me. People will do something and they'll see the positive results from that thing, but because they never sit there and ask why they're getting results, they can't take control of it. They can't use it for themselves. They can't reverse engineer whatever it is that worked for them and apply it to their current lives so that way it continues to work for them. So like I mentioned earlier, when you're in college or when you're in high school or when you're a kid and your parents plan things out for you, the principle of planning your day is being applied, but it's being done by someone else for you. And again, that's why I think people sometimes are unhappy in those situations, is because someone else is essentially dictating how your day is spent. They're dictating how your time is being used. As an adult, though, I think most adults would agree with this. I would imagine, at least. You like to have a sense of freedom and you like to have a sense of control. This is exactly how you get back that control. You just block out your own day. But instead of your boss doing it for you, or instead of your teachers doing it for you, or college administrator doing it for you, you just do it for yourself. And it's super simple, super cheap. Like, I really cannot emphasize this enough. I see so many people talk about they want to get ahead in life. They want to become successful. And they make excuses about how difficult it is or how complicated it can be. It's not that complicated. It's not that difficult. For the most part, most of the things you want are achievable, but you really just need a planner or a calendar app. And most of the time, they're pretty free. If you have a phone, technically you pay for the phone, but the calendar app's one of the default tools on your phone for free. If you have Google Gmail, which is a free resource, you have Google Calendar. It's free. If you want to buy a planner, planners range in price, but there's planners that are $1. They're not the best planners, so I don't recommend them. But there are planners that are $5, $10. I've seen some at $5 below. $5 planner. Looks beautiful, hardcover, perfectly fine. It's not super expensive, but it'll make you so much happier. It'll make you so much more money if that's your goal. If you want to get in better shape, it'll help you get in better shape. If you want to have better relationships, it'll help you get better relationships. Whatever your goal is, a planner is where you need to begin. So, I don't know. I think that's where he's going with this. But yeah, I 100% agree. By the way, if you're watching this and you do not have a planner and you want to use a planner, you can use Google Calendars. You can use your default iPhone calendar or Android calendar. I don't have Android, but I assume they have a calendar app as well. One thing I recommend, and I'm biased, but I just came out with what I call the 1% Better Elite Planner. It's my ultimate planner for anyone that wants to become successful and an elite in life. So it's in the description down below. You can grab it. Right now, I'm currently selling it for $12. If you're willing to leave a review, whether positive or negative, I'll give that to you for free. But the link is down below in the description. You can just click on it. It's a very in-depth guide and planner. Most planners, in my personal opinion, the mistake that they make is that if you don't understand certain principles like time blocking or valuing your time objectively, like giving it an actual like monetary value, you'll fall short and you won't get the most out of the planner. My planner just completely teaches you everything you need to know so that way you can set goals that matter, so that way you can objectively value your time, and so that way you can time block effectively, so that way you can guarantee you're getting from point A to point Z, whatever that Z is for you, whatever your final destination is. The planner is guaranteed to help you get from where you are now to where you want to be. And there's videos and different guides in that planner that'll help you achieve that. So, like I said, I know that was a random plug, but if you're interested, it's down below. It's $12, but if you're willing to leave a review, I'll give that to you 100% for free. So, hope you enjoy that. But let's get back to the video.
Recently, I started to really utilize this into my daily routine. My biggest question when I decided I wanted to incorporate time boxing was how? How on earth do I do it? I was overwhelmed with the number of tutorials and apps online, all telling me different ways to do it. I couldn't settle on one. All I wanted was something that planned out my day, that required the least amount of effort and setup time. I didn't want to have to write and plan out my day on a whiteboard every night, or go through a 9-step sign-up process before I find out I need to pay $5 a month to use basic features. I wanted something easy, simple, and reliable. Then I found it. It was right under my one strand of beard. The perfect app that does exactly what I need it to do. Google Calendar. Not sponsored. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you already have a Google account. Probably something cringy you made in middle school. Yep, and just your email? newdragon767@gmail.com. F***ing nerd. Now, it did take me and my undiagnosed ADHD brain a while to figure out how to time box effectively, but once I figured it out, it was actually easy. So to save you the trouble...
There you go. Exactly what I told you. Most people don't know how to time block effectively. Even if they begin to time block, that's what holds them back. It's what held me back. It's what holds back and held back many of my clients. So just something to be mindful of. And that's, again, plugging a little bit, but that's where my planner comes in, and that's why it's so effective. But if you don't want to get the planner, Google Calendar, totally perfectly acceptable app to use, highly recommended as well. But yeah, start time blocking.
So when you open Google Calendar for the first time, you'll have a blank canvas like this. To stay organized, I like to group tasks and events by appointments, breaks, routine, and main tasks. I've labeled main tasks as entrepreneur. Fuck my life. So your groups might be a little different to mine. In my case, this is what my time boxing looks like. I try not to leave anything blank and fill the day to the minute, or I find myself NPC T-posing until the next task. I don't think there's any science I can use to back this claim, but I color code my tasks depending on how I feel towards them. For example, entrepreneur is coded in yellow because it makes me happy, breaks are coded in green because I like breaks, and daily routine is in blue because it makes me sad. Why does daily routine make you sad, Soul? Good point. I do like sleeping. Now, once you created your calendars, you can start adding your tasks, and it's as simple as clicking and dragging the task directly onto your calendar. Add the title, how much time you want to allocate, and what group you want to add it into. I'm going to assume that most of you are either working or in school, so I would categorize that under appointments. These are things that are set in stone and can't be shifted. If it's a task that repeats, like school or work, save yourself the headache and click on subscribe. Click on daily. If it only
All right, well, I think you guys get the gist of the video. Time block your day, use a calendar. And one thing I do want to point out, I typically tell my clients this. To me, the most effective way to time block is the day before, plan for the following day. So what I mean by this, if that sentence was confusing, that sentence actually sounded pretty confusing, even though I'm the one that said it. If it's Monday night, plan Tuesday on Monday night. So typically what I would do is Monday night around like 9, 10 p.m., depends on when you want to go to sleep, just take about 5 to 10 minutes and plan out what you want to do on Tuesday from start to finish. Usually I start with the time I want to wake up, the time I'm going to bed, and then from there, I usually pick 1 to 3 activities that will make the most progress toward my goals. And I kind of fill them in the following day. Now, obviously, if you're someone that works or if you have a fixed schedule, put those in first. Like if you work from 9 to 5, then put in what time you're waking up, put in what time you're going to bed, put in your 9 to 5 job on a map or on a calendar so you can visually see it. And then from there, put in that one thing that might really make the most progress on your day. But I think overall the beauty of this is that it lets you see how you're spending your time completely. Now, obviously, if there's something that comes up frequently, if there's, if you're going to work Monday through Friday, then you can just use a calendar app like this, or in your planner, just on a single day, on like a Sunday, just put it in for every single day of the week. Put it from Monday through Friday. It's a daily task that repeats. It's perfectly fine. And then maybe that night, instead of you having to fill out the entire day, you can fill out just small things that are different. Like maybe on Friday, you want to take time to wash the dishes, clean the apartment, do laundry. That's when I do those things on my end. That's why I mentioned that. It doesn't matter. The point that I'm making is that it's good to time block. It's good to kind of set designated times to do very specific things based on what your goals is. So hopefully this all made sense. Hopefully you get a lot out of this video. Be sure to start time blocking. Trust me when I say this. Once you begin doing it, it's a massive game changer. It doesn't require much effort. It doesn't require any money to start. It's going to make a massive impact on your future. So if you like the video, please hit the like button. It helps tremendously. It helps this video reach more people that can benefit from this. If you know of anyone that might be interested in this concept or this video, please share that with them. That too helps a lot. And hope to see you in the next video.